So, I've got a camping trip planned in Scotland, and I've got to try and cut down on my camera equipment. So I'm only going to be taking this camera, and today we're going to be reviewing this camera, which is the Nikon W300. So, I'm just going to point out that this camera can film in 4K, and I'm going to be filming in 1080 at 30 frames per second, just because that's how I render my videos when I've completed them. So let's begin the test. So, what I'm trying to achieve today is basically to film all the stuff I would normally film in one of my motorcycle tours, and just see how it turns out. Obviously, if I don't get the results I'm looking for, then I'm going to revert back to my GoPro and the Sony, but everything's looking promising at the moment, and if I can make this one camera work for my entire tour, then it could be a big space saver. Gentle. All my friends coming back. Hello, how are you? This is my new buddy. So, we've covered a lot of basics so far, which is close-ups, long distance, focal face shots, which is kind of my main thing. I'd like to test water to see how it reacts when filming water, but one issue I have got so far is the lens. It keeps steaming up and it's an absolute nightmare, so I'll see if there's a way around it, but until then let's make our way back to the bike. So we've got 5x optical zoom, and then the dreaded digital zoom, which just pixelates everything, so 5x zoom's not bad. So, we can see traffic in the background. I'm pretty sure that's the A27, so if I head this direction, I should head back towards my bike. If not, then we'll try a different direction. So we're off to try some filming at the lake. I found out what was causing the steaming up, and it's where it's been pinned on the front of here, getting a cold breeze from the high speeds, and then obviously me taking the camera off, bringing it in the sunlight, and it's getting hot and steaming up on the inside. So I'll leave that footage in there. It just shows that we can't use it for that and general filming, so maybe a combination of this and this camera and the GoPro would be a suitable option, but we'll see. So, a few of the fishermen are a bit concerned about my filming. They're not too happy about it, so I had to leave. God, that's an electric fucking fence. Let's try that again. So, I wasn't able to film on the water, but I got a couple of quick shots, and by the looks of it, the camera's working perfectly well. We haven't had another steaming up issue since I haven't clipped the camera on the bike. But colour-wise, everything here is coming out beautifully well. The image quality, I really can't complain. As long as there's no steam on the lens, the picture that's coming through is perfectly usable for me. I bought it for the waterproofness and obviously the freeze proof and the fact that it's very durable. I can use it wherever. I don't have to worry about a bit of rain getting on the lens, so that's what I bought it for. And if I can use this one instead of the Sony A37, which really gives me great concern when filming, because if any rain comes down, the cameras become void and useless, because it's not very well suited to wet weather conditions. I was surprised it survived my fishing trip, to be honest, because we had some terrible weather. But it's done well, it's lasted a fair few years, and I think this could now be the replacement, so let's hope all goes well. So I'm back now. I'm just going to quickly run through a few of the details and frame rates. So film wise, this can film in 4K at 30 frames per second. It can film 1080 at a maximum of 60 frames per second, and it can film at 480 for a maximum of 120 frames a second. So it's going to be pretty good for slow motion. It's shockproof to 2.5 meters, that's 8 foot, and it's waterproof to 30 meters. So I think it's freeze proof as well to a degree, but I'm not sure how what degree it goes down to. But aside from that, this camera's it's got a fairly good specification to it. It's probably the ideal all-round camera, and the last thing we're going to try is the low light conditions. So when it gets a bit darker, I'll pull the camera back out and we'll try filming again. So we've just lost the sun for the day, and the image quality seems to be pretty good still. There's not too much blurriness and pixelation yet, so I'm going to wander into the woodlands over there where it's a bit darker and just see how well this camera handles. Let's take a walk. So I've just taken a long walk up the hill. It's getting pretty dark now, as you can see. I'm not sure if I'm in focus or not because the screen's on the back. I'm probably going to spend another 5 minutes here, and then we'll just wait till it turns pitch black and see what we get later on. Whew. But for now, let's start walking back to the bike. So I've been using this camera on and off for a couple of weeks and I'm fairly happy with the results. As for sticking it on the front of the bike, we're going to avoid that now, probably stick to the GoPro, but this could be a good contender for taking to Scotland, so I'll decide over the next few weeks before I leave, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.